I think it's so cool that you had Wander Beauty and, you're doing skincare and now you're coming out with, your own perfume line. I think that's amazing.
As Indians and Southeast Asian women, we're so conscious of our smell. Like, I don't know if you grew up with that, like, intense consciousness around it. Like, I grew up and like, I went to a school where people were like, oh my God, you smell like curry. You have curry in your house. And like, you're like, oh God, I'm so conscious of myself. I was telling one of my friends that one of the very first things that I did when I got my allowance from doing chores at home was buy deodorant and put it all over my body. Like, not just my armpits, but like on my arms, on my legs. I was like, I want to go to school and I don't want to smell. And so like, then that kind of evolution of like being conscious of your smell as like a young woman going to school and like going through puberty and all that stuff. Then my dad used to travel all the time and he used to always buy a perfume from duty free for my mom. Like, every trip he'd come back, he'd have a perfume for her. And then when I turned 16, he started buying them for me. And I used to wear that thing, like I would bathe in perfume. Like, I've grown up in a culture like you have where scent is such a key part of our culture. So many fragrant spices, essential oils, like incense, like it's such a part of our culture. Scent, falling in love with fragrance was a natural for me, especially when my dad like got me so many. And then it just became this turning point where I got diagnosed with autoimmune disease and couldn't wear anything in my collection. And I was like, that was the turning point for starting Wander too, because I was allergic to everything. I couldn't use regular mascara. My eyes would seal shut. I couldn't use skincare because I'd get hives and rashes. And like, creating Wander and creating effortless essentials, clean beauty for wherever you wander was, the first step of that. And then being able to create clean perfume that's vegan and has an intensity and longevity and sophistication was like the second phase of that. So they all kind of tie together is what I was saying.
So what's the process? I mean, I know that there's a little bit of a history of why you wanted to get into scents, but what was the process? What was the,
it's
the first step you took?
So beautiful. It's just organic. So I'd always had a massive perfume collection. As I mentioned, I was then allergic to it and couldn't use anything in my collection. So I really shopped all of the limited clean alternatives. I went to Sephora, I shopped the clean brands. I shopped the clean and Planet Positive brands because that's an ethos for me. And I just never got the longevity that I had for my old favorites. I went to Paris for 5 nights and I spent time with my friend's mother, and every time I hugged her, I met her for coffee, then I met her for dinner the next day. Every occasion was punctuated with her scent. It reflected her mood and the moment so effortlessly and so chicly. Like, I'm sitting here traveling with my travel size Tom Ford perfume that I'm like, sometimes break out from, sometimes don't. And I'm like, have one scent. I'm like, I'm on vacation. Like, this is what I'm wearing. I'm like, but then I realized this is something magnetic and amazing that I've always wanted to do. So I created 5 scents, and it's centered around the number 5. This is my 5th business venture, my 5th company I've started. It's, the number 5 is tied to Mercury, which is tied to, magic and spirituality and new beginnings. And then also I spent 5 nights in Paris where I was inspired to create this concept. And it's a sensory experience in fine fragrance. It's literally about your mood bottled. Like, this is literally your mood bottled. And it's about wearing your mood. It's about how every single day we wear different clothes, different skincare, different accessories, different clothes.
By the way, life of the party.
Why not wear your mood? Yeah. And so this is 5 scents is literally about your mood bottled, wearing your mood, fragrance as dynamic as you are. It's not just 2 spritzes and you're out the door. It's 2 spritzes and you're tapping into owning the energy you want to own for the day.
I love it. I love the whole aspect of energy around it because, your energy is different each day. How has the response been overall?
It's been insane. I'm actually so surprised at how incredible it's been. We've had a lot of incredible press placements, which has been amazing in a very short period of time. I'm shocked at how much fragrance we're selling before even being in a physical retail. Like, people are buying off notes that they know. They know they love cool, woody scents. They're buying Twin Flame. They know they like something earthy and herby and citrus. They're buying Lit. They know they like, a woody floral. They're buying Catch Feelings. Like, they're reading, they're engaging with the content. They're engaging with the kind of sensory experience we've created on the website on 5cents.co, and they're purchasing, which has like been fascinating for me to even think that would happen. But you learn new things every time.
I love it. I love it. I can't wait to try some of these products because I it's
Yes,
just
we have
that
this.
South Asians are all about scents, right?
Yes, we are.
We
And
are.
it's so interesting. Like, it's such a part of our culture, and smelling good is such a part of our culture. And I just remember, like, I was just telling you that my father recently passed away, and like the way I remember him and the memory I have of him is so much around the way he smelled. It's about his soft, buttery hands that I always remembered. I'd touch my dad's hands and they were just always so soft. And I'll always remember that touch of like holding his hand, and also that smell, like of how he used to smell amazing. And he, by the way, worked on some, because everything is completely genderless and they're completely open to everyone. He worked on a lot of these scents with me, which was so nice.
So I did want to ask you that because, this is again for both genders. So how does that work?
We really had a very wide and diverse pool of people that we tested. For example, this scent is called Catch Feelings. And we showed a mood board of like what that would look like. And then we'd have people say, okay, you see the mood board, you're immersed in the scent. Now, what's the best name for the scent? And people would vote and say Catch Feelings. Then I would say, now smell these 3 different fragrances. Which one encompasses what you've just seen in a mood board and what you've just said you think the fragrance should be like? And then what are the notes that you see here? It's that Turkish rose, it's the lychee, it's the ruby grapefruit, it's the vetiver and the suede, which is a little bit like woody and deep. And so the whole process tied together in different stages. And then we showed them the packaging, and they're like, and what packaging goes with this scent that you just selected? So it was a very iterative process. We did a lot of consumer research. I think that was critical for the success of what we had with these scents. I think has a lot to do with how much homework and how much time and energy we put into creating them. We spent a lot of time doing it, and I worked with a master French perfumer.
Oh, nice. And so you're getting like men just as much wanting to.
Yes.
That's amazing.
And people of all diversity, ethnicities, body types, skin types, colors, ages. Like, we really wanted to create diversity. And when you are doing that, you have to live it from the very beginning.
I think it's amazing. First of all, South Asian female entrepreneur, always applauding you for that. I think that's great. You
just hustling all the time.
Yeah, but it's a major achievement. So you should definitely pat yourself on the back for that.
I'm excited.